I wanted to do something that kind of, felt like fantasy and might, tap into the, what was interesting with fantasy but wasn't fantasy. And one of the first things that came to my mind was pirates, because they do share a lot. They have swords and they do a lot of sword fighting, and so I thought, pirates could be interesting. And I really loved the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, so it just seemed like these two things fit well together. So I just started coming up with a lot of ideas around pirates to do an adventure game with. The main story of Monkey Island is there's this young pirate that shows up deep in the Caribbean one day, and he's not really a pirate, but he wants to be a pirate. So he shows up and he pretty much, starts out the whole game with, my name is Gilbert and I want to be a pirate. And so a lot of the beginning of the game is just learning how to be a pirate, learning about sword fighting and treasure hunting and, all these different aspects to being a pirate before really kind of the big story gets started, which is the governor of this local island being kidnapped by this evil ghost pirate, LeChuck. In terms of the success of the game in Monkey Island 2, Monkey Island really wasn't that successful at the time. The time that it came out, Sierra was still selling 10 times as many copies as we were of anything. Monkey Island got good reviews, but it didn't get great reviews. I actually have a magazine in my office of a review of Monkey Island that came out at the time, and we got a 7 out of 10 score on that game, right? So, it's not bad, but it's not super great. And so, I think it just took a long time for Monkey Island to catch on. It was not an immediate hit. It really wasn't until several years later, probably, 5 and maybe even 10 years later, that I think Monkey Island really gained this cult status that it has today.